on, everybody? 18 wheels to hell here, and we are driving. Currently shooting up 65 through Kentucky on our way back from Florida. Boy, has it been a hell of a week. Last week I left from Illinois, Chicago, and went down to South Carolina. And when I was down in South Carolina, the truck started having regen issues, and it actually derated on me. And derated me down to 55 miles an hour. So, and it did that when I was like, I'd say about a half an hour away from a delivery. So, I pulled over and regened it, and all was well. Excuse me. Before that, on my first day learning flatbed, my air conditioning went out on what happened to be our hottest day of the year up in the Chicago area. That was real fun. And then the regen issues last week. And as I was coming up through Florida over the weekend, and I was up in northern Georgia, the check engine and the stop engine light came on, to which I pulled into a Love's and discovered I had what I thought might be a slight coolant leak, because it had dripped down onto the fan and splattered everywhere, but the tank wasn't too low. So I threw some in there, and the lights went away. And about 10 minutes later, they turned back on. Well, and then I ended up getting stuck in traffic for construction and an accident going up to Chattanooga. And I had planned to stop at that Love's up there in Jasper anyways, so I pulled into there. And I talked to the Love's to see if they could fix it. They said, sure. I thought maybe it would just be replacing a hose. Well, it's a good thing I never entered the shop with Love's. I sat there and waited and waited and waited. And fell asleep waiting on them, because I had been driving since about 2 a.m. Florida time, which was about 1 a.m. Jasper time. So I was beat, right? And I woke up at around 2 a.m., had no missed phone calls, nothing. Nobody tried to bang on my door, so I said, you know what, fuck this place. And looked up a Freightliner on Google and actually found a shop. I'm going to shout these guys out. HM Truck Repair, right around the corner from that Love's. If you go past it a little bit, there's an intersection right there past the Love's. You make a right. Super small place, but they diagnosed the real issue with my truck and got it fixed today. They couldn't get it fixed yesterday because it was Sunday. And they had to go get a radiator and a couple other parts, because it turns out I actually blew my radiator, and that's what was spewing coolant everywhere. So, got a hotel room on the boss's dime, and I got paid for my breakdown for yesterday and today. What a shock, huh? Getting paid to be broke down? Gee. It's almost as if, a company gives a shit about its drivers. That's not a jab at all or anything towards my last company, if they happen to see this. Their logic is, why pay a guy if he's not working? Well, anyways, I digress. There will be subtle hints dropped as to why I left that fucking company. That was one of them. Put it that way. Anyways, now we're here rolling, and I'm trying to roll all the way up to the Chicago area so I can finally finish this goddamn load. And that's where some changes are going to happen. We're going to get to the point of this here. The Bossman and I had a talk. Right. Now, I said in my last video that I'm driving currently a 2014 Cascadia, and that's not going to be permanent. I had mentioned that I was getting a truck with a hood, and that was going to be true. That was the plan, and I was going to actually start leasing to own that truck with this company. But after 3 weeks straight of this truck having nothing but problems, my boss is kind of hesitant to put me in that truck because it's old. What that truck is that I was supposed to be getting is a 2007 Peterbilt 379 with a 500 horsepower wide open rebuilt cat engine, but it's got over 1 million miles on it. And my boss is scared that even if he sold it to me for the low price of $25,000, that with how old it is, it would start to nickel and dime me, and he doesn't want to watch that happen to me. So, and he doesn't want to watch it happen to him either, so that truck is likely going to be kept as a spare. Sucks. I was looking forward to my hood. I was looking forward to my old school ride. But it is what it is. The truck I will be getting, I'm not sure if it's a 2020 or a 2021, but it's one of those brand spanking new trucks that the Bossman got in. And what it is if I can speak. What it is an International LT. Unfortunately, it's an automatic. I've dodged the bullet this long, and it seems that they finally shot me. It is what it is. I've never had a brand new truck before, so this is actually going to be kind of cool. And what the plan is I'm going to drive that truck until the boss man wants to trade it in, which would be about 3 years. Yes, he's going to be paying off 2 brand new International LTs in 3 years. If that says anything about how this man runs his business, he runs it very well. And this is no sweat to him. And I will be glad to drive that truck. Even though it's an automatic, it's whatever. It's fully loaded, it's got a fridge, it's got an inverter, electric auto start, all that good shit. Most guys complain about that electric auto start, but I actually don't mind it. They're not bad trucks. I know several people who drive those LTs and they're very happy with them. And I drove a day cab one once, and it wasn't a bad ride. It wasn't automatic, but it was pretty smooth for an automatic. I have tooled around on an automatic a couple of other times with a Peterbilt and a Kenworth, and those were real lurchy. I didn't really care for them. Hooking up the trailers and whatnot, man, it's a good way to have your fucking coffee everywhere. But now with those LTs, they're actually pretty smooth from what I can remember. It was a couple of years ago. I've never driven in one with a sleeper, but I'm not complaining about being back in International. As you saw, I had 2 Pro Stars and the Lone Star with the last company. So Internationals are something I'm familiar with, or something they're trucks that I know where I can put all my stuff and feel comfortable. So I'm not complaining, not complaining one bit. I was looking forward to having that hood, but the boss man's right. Knowing just, how things go in trucking, I'm going to start, making pivots on that thing, and this thing will go wrong, and then the next week that thing will go wrong, and then it'll be good for a couple of weeks, and then something else will go wrong, and before I know it, I've spent $30,000-$40,000 on repairs for a truck that was going to cost me only $25,000. It is what it is. So the plan is I'm going to drive that truck until he's ready to trade it in, and save up the money. And after these couple of years, I will determine whether or not I am ready to make that leap into the world of owner-op. And he threw something at me that gave me a big boner. He said, we'll work out a plan to save you some money. get it all set aside. If you want to make that leap, then we'll go to Fitzgerald's and we'll see about a nice glider. So, I'm not going to complain about that. Fitzgerald's makes very nice glider trucks. So, that is the plan. Not quite what I was hoping to do, but I trust this man's judgment, and he's right. Seeing as how this truck is starting to nickel and dime him with the AC going out, with it starting to have regen issues, with the radiator blowing, and who the fuck knows what's next. I've got 450 miles to go, and I'm hoping it stays in one fucking piece on the way up, because it's not improving itself. I'm not really a fan of these Cascadias. I will say that it's a roomy truck and it's a smooth ride. Shifts rough as fuck though, and it's got its obvious mechanical issues. So he's probably going to be keeping this one as a spare until he's ready to trade in and get more new trucks. But yeah, other than that, I'm happy here. You know, I'm going. The way things work is, even though I was supposed to be back up in Chicago yesterday, and I could have claimed all those miles, the nice thing about where I work now is I can split my trip. So I can claim all the miles up to Jasper yesterday, plus my breakdown. So that'll make up for it. I've never worked at a company where I could do that before. And the last company I worked at basically laughed at me when I asked for breakdown pay. What a concept that, you know, what a concept that their equipment breaks and I get paid for my convenience. What a concept. Can't tell I'm still a little bit bitter. Worked for that last company for damn near 4 years, and at the time that I left, I was the most senior driver. If that says anything, me only being there for just under 4 years, and at the point I left, I was the most senior driver, I think that says a lot. And I was a loyalist. I said I would never leave that company. Well, I didn't get treated like a most senior driver. Sure, I had a nice truck and everything, but when it came down to my needs, when it came down to my comforts, when it came down to everything else, fuck me, I guess. You know, with this company, if I say I need to be home for this thing on this date, I'll be home. With this last company, I said I needed to be home for my daughter's, I think it was a couple things. School dance and a Girl Scouts thing. Missed both of those. Simply because they couldn't find freight and they didn't want to take anything cheap. They knew a month in advance, both times, that I needed to be home, and you know, we gotta wait till last minute, and then, oh shit, there's no freight. Whatever, man. Whatever. Just not cool how I was treated over there. There's a lot of things I didn't talk about. And there's a lot of things I probably won't talk about. I'll drop subtle hits here and there like I did. But, yeah. So anyways, I'm starting to fucking ramble. I'm going to get on down the road here and get back. I'm not going to be back until about 3:30 in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. It'll be a long night, but it is what it is. That's the gist of the video. Plans are changing a little bit, but they are for the better. I will be happy to get a brand new truck, and I will certainly be doing a truck tour of it once I get settled in. And we'll go from there. So I guess until next time, I'll see y'all motherfuckers later. Bye.